Welcome to AskTetsu, where we unlock the world's opportunities for our children by teaching them languages. My name is Tetsu and I've been raised in multiple languages, and today I'm raising my own 4 kids in 5 languages. If you're new here, I urge you to subscribe and follow our kids' language development journey. Our children uses 5 languages constantly in their daily lives. That's English, French, Japanese, Mandarin, and Spanish. And I thought the best way to teach you how we raise our children in these 5 languages is simply to show you our kids using these different languages in their daily routines, and then explain to you what we are trying to achieve in these different activities. Now, in today's video, I want to show you various clips of our kids' activities in different languages that took place on Saturday, September 12th. That's just about 10 days ago. So Ronnie is 8, Nika is 6, Akila is 3, and Nina is 5 months old. Now, through these clips, I will answer some of the popular questions that I often get from you guys, including 1, why is it important for our kids to learn heritage languages? 2, how to make kids interested in online lessons. 3, how important is literacy in all these languages? 4, is watching TV an effective way to learn languages? And 5, what can we do to optimize the language learning environment in the face of COVID-19 currently? So let's get into it. That day started with an impromptu call from my aunt from Taiwan, or the kids' great aunt. And so everything is happening in Mandarin Chinese.
Cô bỏ trả
3年级。
Akila，
姑婆
哟，妹妹呢？
在哪里？去公。
好久不见，对不对？
对。
So this clip answers the first question. Why is it important for our kids to learn heritage language? For us, speaking to family members in their language is very important. This, I think, it really allows us to form true bonds because I see too many children of immigrant families lose their heritage language and never be able to fully connect with their grandparents or extended family members. Now, I realize that many families do this by choice, and I'm not here to cast any judgment on how others should live their lives. But for those parents who do want their children to speak their heritage language, but for some reason they don't really know how to, I hope my videos can be of value to them. After chatting with our relatives in Taiwan, the kids had their online Mandarin lessons, and with their favorite Taiwanese teacher on italki, which is a very popular online platform for learning for language teachers and students. Now, this video is not sponsored by italki or anything. We just really love how the system works.
Hi，
小白老师。
No video.
Hi， Nika
小白老师。好。这个也是。
好大的 Hello Kitty， 哇，超级可爱的 Hello Kitty。
这个比较可爱的。
月亮去哪里？
谢谢老师。
谢谢，谢谢，
谢谢。
明天见。
明天见。
Many parents have found out the hard way through this pandemic that keeping young kids engaged during online lessons is a nightmare. And this definitely is no piece of cake for our family either. But rest assured, one thing that we don't do, just as with all the other methods that we use for our kids, is we never force them. So instead, just like for this online lesson, we try to focus on 2 things. First is the choice of the teacher, and second is the contents. So we had tried a few teachers over the summer and have been with Mr. Xiaobai for a while now because I think he gets it. He knows how to get down to the level of the children and when he talks to them in order to grab and hold their attention. Notice how he even uses little Spider-Man and Batman dolls during his lessons. Now, as for the contents, we usually tell the teachers about, first we tell them to forget grammar. Don't start with grammar and drills. Just focus on what the kids love. So notice that with Nika, it was about her dolls, it was about singing, it was about dancing. And for Ronnie, we told Mr. Xiaobai that Ronnie loves geography. So he would prepare quizzes and games about countries, flags, etc. And another thing that Mr. Xiaobai does is that he shows the kids some short children's stories on YouTube and then asks them questions about the story, etc. It's a very effective way to keep children engaged and interested in the lessons. Okay, so now let me show you what the kids were up to that afternoon after lunch. So my wife took out some Japanese material for them to work on.
日記タイムです。毎日一行日記っていうのをやってます。ねえ、ロンちゃん。お、上手ね。学校に行きました。学校に行きました。毎日が7日は学校に行きませんでしたか。そっか。
次はこうだった。
さて、あきらくんはカラオケをするみたいです。
こう聞いてもわからない名前を聞いて。
So we often get asked about the importance of literacy in languages that we teach our children, especially when it comes to kanjis or Chinese characters, which are used in both Chinese and Japanese. Here, I would answer this question like this. Listening and speaking are, for us, must-haves, obviously. But reading and writing, they're nice-to-haves. Now that said, they're still very nice-to-haves. So Yuko likes to plaster her home with posters and buy countless Chinese and Japanese books to put in every corner of the house. She also does a lot of research into these apps on iPads and that teach reading in a fun and engaging way, mostly through stories, games, and quizzes. Now, she's also very creative in not only making the exercises fun, but also sustainable long-term. As shown in the clip that you just saw, the exercise was about learning how to write simple things in Japanese in the form of a one-line diary. So every day the kids write just one line. It's very sustainable. We also put a lot of variety of options on the table for them to choose from. And as for the karaoke, this little karaoke book that Akila had, well, it obviously has nothing to do with literacy, but it's still a lot of fun language learning as the kids sing songs and learn their language along the way. Okay, so after the exercises, Ronnie went to his friend Axel's place, while Nika started to watch her favorite movie of all times for the nth time.
Et je pense que j'avais une carte Pokémon que son nom H. Il y avait juste 190 HP, mais son attaque, il pouvait faire 220, je pense. 240.
I love you. Of true love will thaw a frozen heart. Love will thaw.
你 Frozen 看几次了？
已经很多。
100次对不对？
不是，应该5次了吧
？5次，5次而已吗？真的吗？更多吧。We live in Quebec, and the community language here is mainly French, along with some English. So when the kids go to friends' homes, it usually is French. As for TV and other screen time, well, the kids mainly watch TV in English, well, especially while we're here in Canada. And thus far, so screen time has been their main input in the English language. And this has actually worked out very well. Actually, TV had worked very well for myself also when I was a kid, so I really believe in its power. I actually made another video about this topic, so I'll link it up here for you. Okay, so the next clip is about the last activity of the day before the kids went to bed. Diana, our most recent au pair, or live-in nanny, called in from Mexico. She had been with us from August 2019 until this past August, including 5 months in Japan with the kids. And of course, the kids speak Spanish with her.
Hola, Akira Young. Akira Young. ¿Qué estás haciendo? ¿Ya comiste? ¿Estás jugando? ¿Quieres jugar el de las hamburguesas o el de la pelota?
Pelota.
Oye, Akira. Sí, oye, Akira. ¿Y pelota verde?
Está abajo.
Muy divertido.
Está aquí.
¡Oh, tu pelota verde, Akira-chan! Ya tienes otra pelota verde. Oye, Ronnie, ¿cuánto apuestas a que no puedes decir este trabalenguas? Es así, camarón, caramelo, caramelo, camarón, camarón, caramelo, caramelo, camarón, caramelo, caramelo, camarón, te toca.
Camarón, caramelo. Bye. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Since the borders are still closed as we speak, we don't have an au pair with us right now. So in order to maintain the kids' Spanish, we thought we could get Diana to call in a few times a week to chat with the kids. Kind of like a virtual babysitter. Now, this method works great, mainly because the kids love Diana. So notice that these are actually conversations, even with our 3-year-old Akila. COVID-19 has been wreaking havoc in everyone's lives, so we need to come up with special tactics to maintain our kids' languages. So for Spanish, we did this call-in via our au pair. We also have another strategy that we have been implementing, but I'll tell you about that in a subsequent video. And here, I'll link up another video about our unique strategies to maintain our kids' Mandarin while they were in Japan this March to August without Mandarin input from myself. Today's video was a glimpse into a typical weekend day in our household. You can see that the kids constantly live and breathe all 5 languages in this created normalcy that they have known since birth. As parents, we create the need for them, either naturally or artificially, to use these languages constantly. And this exposure over time allows them to acquire these languages. Note, I use the word acquiring, which is much better than learning, as I discussed in that video that you can see in that corner. Now, if you want more in-depth discussions on concepts and strategies in raising multilingual children, please check out the playlist right down here below. I wish you best luck in raising your bilingual or multilingual child, and I'll see you in the next video.